Hey everybody, Ronnie here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to go through the 2D Game Kit tutorial as it is shown on Unity's website. So I'm going to be using 2018.2.4F1, and that's not the newest version that's out, but I've got that downloading in the background. Um, I'm just naming this 2D Game Kit tutorial. I am using a 2D template. And I've got already downloaded it. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to import the asset package. And we're going to create. Now this might take a little time. Okay. The 2D Game Kit is pretty big. It's not as big as the 3D Game Kit was, but it is still pretty big. So what we'll do is see how long this takes. Maybe it'll only be a couple minutes. That'll be cool. So as we're waiting here, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please hit that. And at the end, don't do it right now. You haven't seen how well I've done. But at the end, if you like what I've done, hit the like button, and I would really appreciate that. I really need to change that background. It's my daughter and grandson and a bunch of superheroes. But yeah, it looks like this is going to take just a few minutes. So while this is doing its thing, I'm going to put the video on pause and or not. It actually sped up. I threatened it. That's what happened. And I said, oh, okay, no, never mind, never mind. We'll go ahead and do this right. Importing more small assets. Woohoo! Loading, loading, loading. Yeah, this is definitely taking a minute. All right, well, if you have not previously downloaded the 2D Game Kit, uh, once you've got your instance of Unity open, go ahead and hit the asset store, type in 2D Game Kit. It should be the very first thing that pops up. You'll see a 2D picture of Ellen, and just go ahead and download and import the 2D Game Kit. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this in the meantime, and I will be back as soon as this is done. Okay, and we are back. So, I went ahead and popped open the asset store here. Just type in 2D Game Kit, and the very first result is going to be the 2D Game Kit. That's the one that we want to use. It's free. It is by Unity Technologies. With that said, we will not be needing the store any further. So, goodbye. There's my console. You notice there are some things going on here. There's some things in the scripts that have been made obsolete, but you're given the opportunity to let Unity update things, and it does a pretty good job. With that said, this pops up here every time. Asks, show what is Game Kit. The Game Kit empowers you to create your own 2D platformer game without writing any code. How do I use it? We've written a detailed manual that explores all the available prefabs and components that make up the mechanics in this kit. You can find the manual on our Learn site and read the manual. In fact, that is what we are going to be going through today. And then got feedback. Let us know what you think or ask any questions that you might have on our forum. And that takes you to the forum thread. With that said, you can see the 2D Game Kit right here. There's quite a few things that have been added up here. Cinemachine, Kit Tools, tutorial. So that's all from the 2D Game Kit. So going forward, the project allows us to automatically create a new default scene, just like in the 3D Game Kit. The scene contains Ellen, our hero, a small platform, a health UI, and everything that we need to move around and attack. So let's go ahead and create a new scene. In the top menu, click on Kit Tools, and then Create New Scene. And we're going to give this a scene name. So the name that we'll use is Tutorial 1. Tutorial_1. And hit Create. Now let's take just a second, and boom, there we go. We've got Ellen, platform, some extra things in here, and we can actually, at this point, go ahead and hit play. And you see Ellen, she's animated. She jumps. Okay, that's the space bar. She doesn't double jump right now. It wouldn't be hard to make her double jump. Okay. Left and right, that's the A and D. If you hit the S, she crouches. W actually doesn't seem to do anything, but that's all good. So, and of course, if you fall off, evidently, we just keep falling forever. So, that's the beginning in a nutshell. You'll see the tutorial 1 is right here. I'm just going to go ahead and drag that up into scenes. In scenes, there's also sample scene. That was the first scene, what popped up when we started the game, or started the Unity. So that's not actually necessary. We could actually get rid of that, and I will. So I'm just going to go delete. It's going to warn me that I can't undo it. I'm going to say go ahead and do it anyway. So the 2D game kit uses Unity's tile map feature, which is designed to help us draw out a level quickly and easily. The kit has everything set up for us so that we can get started right away. So let's start designing a level. In the top menu, go to Window and select Tile Palette. And we're going to have to find it because everything's all mixed up in here now. And there we go, Tile Palette. And there's our tile palette. There are actually two tile sets here that allow us to draw out levels. The tiles use the scriptable tile system of the Unity tile map, and they automatically choose the right sprite for the platform. We have two styles of sprites, grassy rocks and alien structure. So we need to make sure the correct set of tiles is selected in the tile palette. What we do is go and click on Tile Set menu. And select Tile Set Game Kit. And we'll pick the type of tile that is best for the level. So what we'll do is we will select, which one do we want? We want the grassy one? Let's go with the grassy one. Okay. So now let's go ahead and paint some tiles in the scene to create a level. Click on a tile in the tile palette to select it. Boom, done. Navigate to the scene view and left click and drag to draw your level. And if we make a mistake, we can hold shift and left click or drag to erase the tiles. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Let's put it right there. And you can see, boom, there we are. Okay. And that's actually pretty cool. So it automatically selects the best tiles for where the tile map is. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and hit the play button. And we'll see how it looks. Okay. I didn't know if we could jump that high or not, but we can. That's pretty cool. Fantastic. And of course, like I said, if we hold the, well, let's click on our tile again. If we hold the shift and left click, it will actually remove tiles. That's pretty cool. That is really, really cool. Okay. So next up, we'll go ahead and hit the play one more time because it says here that Unity has included a debug menu. if we press F12 on the keyboard, there it is. It brings up an option to enable or disable each of Ellen's weapons in the game view. So we've got a melee attack, and I have no idea how to make her attack. And a range attack, but once again, I don't know how to make her attack. But we will figure that out now, won't we? So we'll go ahead and F12 again, and we will continue on. Oh, wait, never mind. I've got it figured out now. So attack, melee is K, and shoot is O. So F12, hit melee attack, and K. And it's not really doing anything. All right, let's try the ranged attack, which is supposed to be O. And it's still not doing anything. Okay. We will figure this out. Next up, we're going to put in a moving platform. Now, before we begin manipulating game objects in the scene view, we want to make sure that we're not in paint mode. So to do this, close the tile palette or select the move tool at the top of the editor, right here. And by the way, let's go ahead and save our scene. Good plan. I'm going to go ahead and hit the move tool instead of closing the tile palette because I want the tile palette to stay open for right now. Now let's go ahead and add a moving platform to the level. So what we're going to do is look in our project window. That's the folder structure. Go to Prefabs, Interactables, and click and drag a moving platform into the scene view. So there is a moving platform. And there it is in the hierarchy. It popped up under gameplay. Okay, that's a cool thing about this, the 2D game kit and the 3D game kit, is when you add things in, they actually go to the places that they belong, which I think is cool. So we use the move tool to position the platform wherever we want. Of course, we've got the X and Y axes here. Whoops, that's not it. That's it. And I'm sure that is where it's going. Okay, so let's put that there. And when you select the moving platform, a red dotted line appears with the move tool gizmo at the end of it. This indicates the path the platform will take while the game is playing. So we can move this wherever we want, okay? I'm sure that if we just leave it right here, it's just going to, the platform will just go over here and then go back. Because over here, we have our moving platform script. Start moving is checked, and looping is back and forth. Speed is 2. And if we use the preview position, it will actually show us where it goes. Wicked cool. So let's make the path of the platform a little bit more complex by making it loop in a square. We do this by adding nodes. Nodes are, of course, additional navigation points for the moving platform component. Do that by hitting Add Node. And we'll do this twice. This one will bring up. This one will bring over. And this adds an additional 2 red dotted lines and gizmos. So we use the gizmos to position our extra nodes into a square shape. You'll notice that there isn't a path going from the last node back to the beginning. If we press play now, it will stop at the last point and then go backwards on the path and start again. So let's go ahead and press play and see that. And it's coming back. Woohoo! And Ellen does go with it. That is good. Because if you remember with the 3D game kit, Ellen didn't child to the platforms, and so if they moved, she would fall off. Okay, so the way that we're going to fix it so that it goes all the way around is in the moving platform component here. Under looping, we are going to select loop instead. And this forms a loop in the gizmos. You see it going back down there. And the platform will take that path. Every component that is provided in the kit has many options to customize the way they work. So for more information on what every option does in the moving platform component, there is actual components documentation. And just look in the moving platform section. In fact, the documentation is right here. Probably the reference guide, components, moving platform. There we go. So there is a lot of information about the moving platform. That's cool. Documentation is right there in the in your asset folder under the 2D game kit. So the next thing we're going to do is open a door with events. Now, what I'm going to do is here, let's get a look at our moving platform again. So we're looking at up here. I'm going to go ahead and paint another platform here. And we'll keep everything connected. That is so cool. The tile map makes this so much easier. It's just painting. Wonder if I can hit this and just fill it. Yep, absolutely. Good. So back to our move tool. And this is where we're going to be putting our door. So in the 2D game kit, events allow us to create actions. We'll use events to trigger a door opening when the player steps on a pressure pad. If you watched the 3D game kit tutorial, we did exactly the same thing. So let's start by adding a door. In the project window, we will go to Prefabs, Interactables, and Door. And we'll drag that into the scene view and set it up so that it blocks Ellen's path. Now we'll add the pressure pad to the scene. So once again, in Interactables, let's look for the pressure pad right there and set that right there. Now some events are already defined. For example, when stepped on, the pressure pad plays a sound and lights up. What we're going to do is connect the pressure pad to the door. So in the hierarchy window up here, we're going to select our pressure pad, which it's selected. And in the inspector, we'll find the pressure pad component, which is right here. And in the on-pressed list, on-pressed, we're going to go ahead and click the plus button to add a new event. And we're going to drag the door game object from the hierarchy window to the object field, which is right here. So there's the door, there's the object field, and for the function, we're going to find animator and then play string. In the text box that appears, we're going to enter the text door opening. So door opening. And we're going to hit the play button and give it a shot. So, boom, boom. We're going to have to wait for the moving platform to come back. There it is. That's why I made this so tall, so we could use the moving platform. All right, and it opened. Sweet. And I'm going to do that one more time, just because I want to see if we can make sure the door actually blocks this. And it does. But we can still jump over it. So in a real game, the door, you want it to be attached to a wall. And that will actually block. All the animation clips are stored in the project window in under art. There's animations, and you've got animation clips. And to play different animators in an event, you have to match the name, the string of the animation clip precisely. So we said do door opening, and we're going to look at interactables, and there it is, door opening. You got door open close, door closing, key, all of these. But you got to type in the name exactly. Okay, which is cool. If you want to shoot a switch instead of placing a pressure pad, you can do that by using the same steps, but selecting the reusable switch in the prefabs folder instead. So let's look for the reusable switch. And interact on trigger. It looks like we've got an open spot here anyway, so let's go ahead and put our door there. Once again, animator, play, string, and door opening. But F12, enable range attack, and let's see. Yep, definitely cannot get up there. Whoops. Okay, let's go ahead and disable the pressure pad. And I still haven't figured out shooting yet, so shooting is not going to happen, but it does look like we can activate it by jumping. Cool. Now, what is a game like a platformer without enemies? So there are two pre-made enemies in the kit, Chomper and Spinner. We'll find these in the project window under prefabs enemies. So we'll close the interactables and go to enemies, Chomper and Spinner. They are both controlled by the enemy behavior component in the inspector, which we see right here, enemy behavior. That's a pretty big script, so we're going to go ahead and, whoops, we'll go ahead and close close that. We have the sprite face right or left. It's got speed, gravity, projectile prefab. If it's, I mean, this is the Chomper, not the Spitter. I'm sure the Spitter, let's find out, does have a spit projectile. Okay. It's got a view direction, field of view, distance, melee attack data, range attack data, audio, miscellaneous flickering duration. I guess that's when it spawns. It's pretty cool. We can actually use that component, the enemy behavior script, to adjust properties like the enemy's speed, the field of view, health, and much more. Each enemy has the same component. They are just set up slightly differently. Note that as well as setting specific values, you can also click and drag left and right on the component properties to scrub through the values. So, all right, put that back to 6. So, we're going to go ahead and add a chomper to our scene. And chomper. Cool. And where'd he go? Chomper. Play around with the settings to adjust his speed and field of view. And so speed is 1, that's fine. Field of view. Cool. And we can make him face left. Woohoo! In fact, that's what we'll do. All right, and we'll undo this. That way, he won't see Ellen until he turns around on his own, which I have to assume is going to happen right here with the door. And let's go ahead and test it and find out. And yes, like all good that K is not working, that's for sure. Well, let's see what happens when we die. Game over. All right. So next up, damaging with objects. In this section, we will explore the damage system. So to do this, we will go through the steps of dropping a box on a spitter to kill him. Sorry, little guy. So what we'll do is we will start. Yep, let's go ahead and bring back our tile palette. And we will start by drawing out a little spot right here. No! Control Z. Didn't work. No! Okay. So here's something that you don't do. Okay. Don't fill if you aren't absolutely certain, because here's what I've done. I hit fill. It filled outside. Okay. And since outside is forever, it went a long way. Okay, so let's see. It did. I was able to get the to get it to go back, but just for the record, it did. go on a start filling the whole thing and locked my computer up pretty hard. So we'll draw out a little spot for Ellen to go and close that. Or actually, that's where the spitter's going to go. So let's grab a spitter, drop them right here. Drop his view distance down. There we go. And because we don't want him to, we do not want the spitter to attack Ellen up here, since he does range damage or range attacks. And once again, we're going to go ahead and close enemies, go back to interactables, and there should be a box. Pushable box. There we go. And in the pushable box, there should be a, oh, there's not. Okay, let's go ahead and add a component. And we are going to type in Damager. There we go, Damager. And the Damager component tells any game object that it has a damageable component on it, like a spitter or a chomper, and it will give it damage. There's more in-depth information in the components documentation. Don't forget our documentation. The Damager is represented by a green collision box right here. And this is the area that causes damage. Notice that it's not covering the pushable box right now. So when we push the box onto the spitter, it won't damage us. Okay, it also won't damage him. So let's move the box so it's roughly the size and position of the pushable box. There are a couple ways to do this. Obviously, we can move it like this. It's getting closer. That's like the best way as far as I'm concerned. Well, that will do that. Obviously, because it is a collider, it's one of the colliders here. You can move it by moving the positions here, but that's fine. Lastly, we need to make sure that the damage is given to the right objects. We separate the objects into layers in the editor so that they can be easily found and separated. So we will, in our pushable box, go to the Damager component that we just added, and on the hittable layers dropdown, we'll select the enemy layer. Now the pushable box will cause damage to anything that we place on the enemy layer, and right now our spitter down here is on the enemy layer. The chomper is also on the enemy layer, and I wonder if he's going to move over and go so far as to touch the box, or if he'll turn around before he gets to it. That's an interesting question. And let's check Ellen. Ellen's layer is player. So here we go. Whoops, missed. Now we wait. Oh, that was smart. And he's dead. Yay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video at this point. This is going to be a two-parter. In the next part, we are going to take a look at decorating because there are a lot of really cool sprites that can be used for decorating in here as well. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.